Hello people, welcome back to a new video, a very different type of video, sort of. So if you don't know already, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is tied with Eternals to be the worst reviewed Marvel Cinematic Universe movie on Rotten Tomatoes. And it gave me an idea of why not review what I think is the worst Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. And then I remembered that I kind of already did that, Thor: The Dark World review. Wasn't great, but I kind of said everything that needed to be said, really. So instead, I thought, why not review what I think is the worst DC Cinematic Universe movie? Now, DC is in a bit of a mess right now. James Gunn is coming in and just basically resetting the whole thing. Yeah, it's in a mess, DC at the minute. But they still somehow managed to push out crap after crap after crap. I still have that nugget of gold there like the Batman. And today we are reviewing what I think is probably the worst superhero movie from the 2010s. Let's just go through the DC Cinematic Universe quick, up to the movie that we're going to be talking about. We've got Man of Steel, very boring, makes Superman unlikable, very weird. The ending is just laughable. Moving on. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Probably has the most stupidest moment in superhero history.
You're letting him kill Martha. Why did you say that name?
You want to explain yourself? What are you doing?
It also has a plot that makes no sense once you think about it logically. And yeah, it's just plain old boring, really. And then we get to the subject of today's video, 2016's Suicide Squad. Directed by David Ayer, or should I say Warner Brothers, because pretty much David Ayer created a movie, and then Warner Brothers panicked, and then they re-edited it all. So this is pretty much made by Warner Brothers themselves. And it is so bad. Everything is so bad, from the characters, the music, the plot, the editing, the acting, the effects. Everything is pretty much wrong with this movie. David Ayer described his cut of the film as a soulful drama, which is interesting for a Suicide Squad movie, but oh well, if that's how he interpreted it, then fair enough. But I can't see any reminiscence of soulful drama in this movie. At all. I just don't get how a movie like this can be released in this format. And they even released a extended cut, which is, I'd say, a little tiny bit better, but still, like, nothing special. Has a couple more scenes in. Wow. That's it. The main thing that this movie does wrong is try to balance all these characters. It has no idea how to do it. When you look at Guardians of the Galaxy or The Suicide Squad, they managed to balance all these characters really well. That's because James Gunn was allowed to do the things that he wanted, and Marvel did not step in. And DC did that with the new Suicide Squad. But with this one, they didn't trust the director, and they panicked. And they somehow managed to make it worse than possible. The characters are so bland, so unengaging, that it makes you not care about the awful story at all. Let's go through them. Deadshot. He has a little bit of backstory. He has a daughter whose mother is not allowing her to see the father again. I don't know. And that's it. He's a good shooter. Has a cool power, I guess. That's useful. Yeah, fair enough. Harley Quinn. She has a romance with Joker, which I will get into in a minute. But yeah, she's just a freaky girl with a really weird mind. That's it, really, unfortunately. El Diablo. This is probably the more interesting character of the bunch. He killed his family by accident with his flame powers. He was sent to prison, and he's still hurting over it. But it's so one-dimensional, they never really do anything with it. Well, no, they try to, but it's developed absolutely terribly. Killer Croc. He's a crocodile man in the sewer. He wears a hoodie. Okay. Slipknot. I think that speaks for itself. Captain Boomerang? He throws boomerangs? because he's Australian, played by Jai Courtney. Yeah. Enchantress, who's the main villain. She possesses a random innocent woman. And she wants to destroy the world or something. And then we get Rick Flag, who is actually the woman who is possessed by Enchantress's boyfriend. Yeah, okay. He may not want to kill her, which is fair enough, because it'll kill his girlfriend as well. That's a cool little conflict, but they never do anything with it as well. And then Joker. Okay, right. I need to get into this. The Joker is one of my favourite comic book villains ever. And what they do to him in this movie is nothing short of just disgraceful. I'll give it this. Jared Leto is giving it his all in this movie. I will give him that. I don't like the guy as a whole, but I at least respect that he's giving this role a lot of effort. But the thing is, the version of the Joker that he's playing is absolutely terrible. Now, I'm not saying that I'm against comic book characters being changed for the sake of the movie. The Dark Knight changed the Joker quite drastically. And it still works. It's my favourite movie ever made. But with this one, I don't know who came up with the idea to turn the Joker into a sort of male prostitute. I don't know why. Like, why is he shirtless all the time? Why has he got loads of tattoos all over him? Why is he acting so, like, sassy and everything? It's just absolutely ridiculous. I just also hate his laugh as well. He has a romance with Harley Quinn, which is just whum through the film. It's shown for like 10 seconds and that's it. No proper development. Because this movie is just rushing through stuff just to get it over and done with. There's no proper development for anything in this movie. So the characters are trash, but what about the plot? Well, Amanda Waller gathers a ragtag team of supervillains, sort of, to take down the Enchantress. Okay, fair enough. We also get a army general, sort of, who the villain is his girlfriend, really, who's been possessed. Okay, a cool conflict. Again, as I said, not developed well at all. And that's all this plot is, really. The first, I'd say about the first 45 minutes to an hour is basically just introducing these characters like that. No proper development or anything. In fact, one character I forgot to mention, which I've just noticed, is Katana, because she's that flipping forgettable. She just shows up out of nowhere.
You're late.
She gets no proper development or anything. We get a quick flashback just to try and explain something, and then it's back to the plot. It's just so laughable. I genuinely forgot that she was in this movie. That's how forgettable she is. Now let's get to one thing which is always really bubbly about this movie. The music. Most of the music for this film is licensed songs. Bohemian Rhapsody, Sympathy for the Devil. There's so many other licensed songs in this movie. And the thing is, they just throw in these songs at random points. And they make hardly any sense for what's happening on screen. I think the only time where a licensed song makes sense is when they play Super Freak to introduce Harley Quinn. I mean, I guess she is super freaky, so yeah. But they just add in all these licensed songs for no reason. And they have the most generic superhero music for the other parts. Like, is there any need to play Bohemian Rhapsody over the characters sleeping? What has that got to do with anything? And then it just gets interrupted by the Joker exploding a wall. Like, what is going on? So the characters are bad. The plot is bad. The music is bad. What else is bad? The editing. I'm going to show you a little example here. So in this scene we get Amanda Waller explaining parts of El Diablo's story. So we killed his family and everything. That's fine. And then she says this.
Gets jumped in a prison riot and incinerates half the yard.
Yeah, it totally looked like those inmates were fighting him. Yeah, They were totally fighting him from afar. And then we get this one where we get introduced to Harley and Joker's relationship.
You don't like me? Fine, don't waste my time then.
This your lady.
Look, are you enjoying yourself?
Like, she's just sat down all of a sudden. It's just so bad edit. And then we just get these weird glitchy stuff when Joker's around.
She thought she was curing him, but she was falling in love.
Like, what is happening? Like, there's no need for this at all. Style over substance, really. Just wanted to rush through stuff. Now you may be thinking, surely it can't get any worse. Well, no. We got bad dialogue.
Lady, you are evil.
Love your perfume. What is that? The stench of death?
Trash action. Awful colour grading. Like, just look at this. It looks awful. It just looks like someone, like, threw muddy water all over it. And what's worse is, whenever you're shooting a scene in the dark, whenever there's a scene in the dark, I can't tell at all what's happening. Like that action scene I just showed you, I can hardly tell what's going on because everything is so bloody dark. Now, I've been ranting about this, so let's give this movie a few positives. Margot Robbie is good as Harley Quinn. I think she's really good. The 21 Pilots song at the end is really good as well, but I don't really count that. This movie's positive. Apart from that, nothing else is good. Everyone else is pretty bad in this movie. Will Smith, I don't mind Will Smith, but I think he just does not fit the character of Deadshot here. He tries, but when I think of Will Smith, I don't feel like an evil shooting guy. I imagine him as a nice guy or inspirational guy, not this. And the worst part is that I'm only really touching the surface of what's wrong with this movie. If I explain everything that's wrong with this movie, I'll be here for 20 years, honestly. In fact, if you want a really big, in-depth review about this film, I would suggest these two videos right here. From Cosmonaut Variety Hour and RalphTheMovieMaker. But this, I just wanted to give you a very, I wouldn't say massive rant, but an indication of why you should just never watch this movie. And why I think it's one of the worst, if not the worst, superhero movie of the 2010s. I cannot stress enough how much you need to stay far away from this movie. It is awful. The only positive thing about it is that Margot Robbie is good as Harley Quinn. That is it. Apart from that, Suicide Squad 2016, 0.5 out of 10. The thing is, I feel like there is a good version of this movie out here. People are begging to get the air cut out like they did with Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League. But I don't think we'll ever get it. I don't think we'll get it at all. And it's a shame because I would really like to see it. It'd be better than this crap. So yeah, Suicide Squad 2016, the worst superhero movie of the 2010s, and the worst movie in the DC Cinematic Universe. And guys, that is it for the end of this review. I hope you all enjoyed. Next time, we are reviewing Cocaine Bear. I'm really looking forward to that movie. It looks so good. Can't wait to see it. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of 2016 Suicide Squad in the comments. I know there's that small minority that really like it, so tell me, why do you like this movie? I'd love to hear your thoughts. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a good day. See you later.